Okay. We're back in for the kids. We're back in for the under 20s, guys. The under 20 game, AFCON under 20 final. AFCON under 20 final. That is what we are here for. We just watched Mamelodi Sundowns raising the trophy. Apologies, I wasn't live during that because hey, my system was systeming, and the systeming was not helping me run the show. So we are now back with the kids, back with the under 20s. We're going to see if they can't win us an AFCON and really set South African football up properly. They are playing versus Morocco. Now, the starting lineups are as follows. For the SA under 20 team, we have Low in goal, Timba, Smith, Nkwali, Sibia, Maku, Kekana, April, Obrigado, Rapo, and Ashene as the starting lineup. Ashene up top. Then, of course, Morocco has Mati, Zawani, Baouf, Ait, Budlal, Kutwane, Laloui, Estadag, Bouaba Saraudi, Boua Masaudi, Dahak, Mama, and El Badelawi. Welcome, everybody. For those who are here for the first time, we were covering Mamelodi Sundowns just now. Now we're looking at the under 20 team that is playing in the final of the AFCON. Hopefully they can do something for us there. The normal show is on every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. But if Chiefs, Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Bafana, Bafana, in this case, the under 20s, Amachita, are in action, we will be here doing a watch-along, very interactive show. You are able to jump in and tell me what you guys are thinking about what we are watching. You're able to jump in by pressing the multi-guest button at the bottom of the screen that says multi-guest, or the button that has a blue figure hugging a pink figure. You press it, you request, I let you in, and we can have a conversation. Guys, what did you think about the Betway Premiership trophy? It looks like at the top, it's the rest of the league holding up Kukune and Pirates and Stellenbosch while they hold up Sundowns. That's what it looks like. Anyway, guys, 1 minute in, the kids have done so well to get to this point. Obrigado. People have been asking, why Obrigado angeko? Why is Obrigado not playing for Chiefs? Kanti, he's been out here. How crazy would this team be if Abombogazi were chosen as well? That would have been insane. He still qualifies, doesn't he? Evening OT, I missed the Sundowns game. You missed the trophy, but you didn't miss much, man. Bongs. Sundowns scored their 102nd goal of the season. They finished 958 passes. The game was done within 20 minutes. It wasn't anything special, man. It wasn't anything special. Make history crowded to be crowded, crown the trophy while the league is still playing. Finish that, boy, Ashene. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. So just search CAF TV on YouTube and you'll find the game. Lerato. CAF TV. It's live right now on CAF TV. I can't wait to see the synergy between Litlaku and Vilakazi. Litlaku is not starting, but let me see. On the bench, we have Autata, Litlaku is there, yes. Abrams, Baring, Dante, Ratisane, Pili, Mahlangu, Mazamba, and Taunyana. Then for Morocco, you have Makaui, Arguigui, Aoud, Gomes, El Hanach, I'm sorry if I'm saying these names wrong, Mesbahi, Karaubi, Bayar, Boyar, Habri, and Bouakamir. He's definitely going to the World Cup with them. Oh, so not SABC2. Okay, SABC2 is also showing the game according to Bafana there. Okay, so 3 minutes in, we've had our first chance. Ashene not able to finish after the ball was chased and won back by the press. I want to see, man. I want to see. Abo obrigado laba, man. Ngimona chaiva. What were you doing it when you were 20, 19? These kids are playing for their countries. Okay. Okay, it's on Wait, wait, I need to make sure. Wait. I forgot. Is it really on 192? Is it really on SABC, guys? Just for those who want to watch. I'm watching it on YouTube. CAF TV, the CAF TV channel. That's where I'm watching it. Is that Cartier? By the way, that Cartier logo there in the background, that's one of the companies owned by Rupert, who just so happens to own Stellenbosch via Remgro. So yeah, when you guys say there isn't money in the league, oh, channel 209 is also showing the game. SABC2 is showing the game. Okay, there we go. We've got confirmation. I meant on lifting the trophy, bro, while the league is still playing. Total Energies AFCON under 20. Hey, Total Energies in this tender they have for African football. I don't know. So far, it's been a back and forth game, man. So far, it's been a back and forth game as we see Uke kind of bundled over there. I haven't seen either team really take advantage of this. But guys, we've always had great youth teams. You know, you go back to Abu Booth, Abu Tebza Mokwena came from a team that was playing, was it the Olympics, with Abu Mahupa, if I'm not mistaken. We've always had great youth teams. The problem is that after they're in the youth, there's no pipeline to take them elsewhere, right? A lot of them aren't playing meaningful league football every week. Oh. Great defending. A lot of them aren't doing those things. We don't have a place to take them. I mean, you look at Kaizer Chiefs that just won the DDC. What happens now? Malume Kutso, Kemnati. We need to win this and prove to Africa that we're good. Under 20 ahead, Botoli. Yeah, we've had them down to what Dalen Klaassen, if you remember those ones. We've always had good youth teams. It's playing on SABC2, channel 209, and then I'm watching it on YouTube. Chene, welcome. What I'm going to do for this game is I'm going to just open it up. So let's have conversations, man. Let's have conversations while we watch the boys. So good to see Abu Obrigado. Actually, Obrigado is one of those guys, you know, doesn't play week in, week out there. Mr. Shelby, how you doing? Oh, Mr. Shelby. Kind of getting Peaky Blinders. Butlal, welcome.
Kamba Noti.
Hi, man. We're just watching the kids, man.
Yeah, daily tradition, a daily reminder that Kaizer Chiefs are your Nedbank Cup champions. You know, it's a daily thing, it's a daily movement. You know, nothing to do with Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs have not been playing today, like nothing to do with Kaizer. It's a movement, you know, it's just a movement. But OT, yeah, man, it's been so good to watch the kids, you know, they've been playing so well throughout the whole tournament, and you can see this thing, Hugo Bruceman, it's influencing the kids a lot because you know, to the eye, maybe at times you can say that, you know, because I've been following the under 20 AFCON, you know, Amaji, to the eye you can say.
So maybe Butkali, before you go too far, break it down. How do the under 20s play? What do you see from there? What should we look out for?
Okay, so it's very similar to how Hugo plays, where, you know, they don't really wait for moments, you know, they don't wait for moments, but at the same time, they don't really, you know, play, you know, ping pong football to the point where it's good to the eye, you know. Okay. So they play a very disciplined game. They play, you know, whenever they need to slow it down, they slow it down, and you know, they play they rely big on tells, you know. There's this boy Abraham that has been that has done really well. Khomolume Kekan as well has done very well. But yeah, I feel like our core midfield is where, you know, we are, you know, we strive at, you know, because everything runs through them. Yeah, but yeah, this team, I mean, we have a great squad here. I'm hearing that Neo Rapo as well is getting scouted by FC Anderlecht.
Yeah, Anderlecht, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be so great to see some of these boys in Europe. And yeah, man, they've been playing so well.
So tell me,
Yeah,
tell me about the question that we have all the time when we speak about South African players. They seem to be smaller, diminutive. How has that played to their favor or not to their favor? I mean, Ashen is probably the biggest one I'm looking at right now. How has that played out? Has it been a weakness? Botalo, can you hear me? Shamase, can you hear me? Okay, we'll bring back Butlali. Shamase, tell me. Oh, Butlali?
yeah. Okay, what is your question?
I was asking, there's the question of height, the question of build. How has that been working for or against them in this tournament? Has it been a crutch? Have we found a way to play through these type of things?
Yes. Yes, because we are smaller than West Africans. So when we've been playing the Central African and West African teams, we find we've made the game, we've controlled the game and made it less physical because obviously they are big. I mean, so some of these West Africans and Central Africans look like 25, 30-year-olds, and I don't know how they pick under 20 AFCONs, but in those games we've made it less physical, played the game on the ground more, played through them more instead of, because there's this boy Tylon Smith, he's very good at those deep diagonal balls from like he's like a Mbogazi or a Nda. Those deep diagonal balls from deep going
Yeah.
to Pili or going to Lukaku. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so in the more games where it's been physical, where the other team is physical, we've played the game through them a lot. So I think that's how we've maneuvered through those physical teams.
Okay. I want to bring in Shamase. Shamase, welcome.
Yes, Mr. OT, how are you?
Hi, man. I'm watching a final, man. I'm watching a final, and I'm seeing a Chiefs player here. Shamase, what do you think of the kids, man?
No, as Mr. OT, I like the way coach ahenglisha ngakhona these northern nations, ne? Give them the time, and then give them the time, benza konke abafuna ukwenza, sizobabamba second half.
Okay.
Like if you can notice, ama-game ethu sikora ngaboma 60 something, and then that's where we kill the game. So ngibuka iMorocco, yabona if ucoach wethu engayinothisa lento, iMorocco i-bad ukuqala ibhola emumva. They have mistakes. If we can take ama-opportunities anjeya lapha eback yabo, singawathola amagoli amabili, and then the rest will follow, and history will come to life, which South Africa is going somewhere in a direction. Another thing, Mr. OT, I'm sad ngombokazi
Yeah.
benonkotsho ukuthi why bengabizwanga, because to qualify for the AFCON umbokazi was there. Sekiwa khona, he's no longer. Why? So we need to attend on that. It's not ukuthi iPirates ayinawo amanye ama-defend. The Pirates is a bigger team. Like you've been always telling us ukuthi Sundowns is a bigger team. The Pirates is a bigger team. Ayikwazi ucomplain ukuthi iyashort ngama-players. So at some point we need to give accountability ukuthi this is a national team. It's not something for fun, but we bringing pride to the badge of South Africa. If we so nqaba nabadlali,
Mina
won't
Buza, but I want to ask you two questions.
Okay.
Two questions, because you touched on two different things. Buza, the first one from the first thing you said.
okay,
And something Butlali said, they play patient, they're 60 minutes. Butlali said that maybe it's not as pleasing to the eye. They know how to Bruce. What do you say to people that speak about the soul of the country and Bafana and the skillfulness and all of that stuff. If now Bafana gets to third place AFCON, these ones are playing in a final with that football, what would you say to people that are saying that, "Hey man, le bola leli man, accelerate"?
At some point, one in the case in Gishomin, you need to adapt, go change. Change is there to happen.
Yeah.
So, more with it in a Sifuna Ipola Dr. Kumalo, no John Shoes Mshew. Yes, Lela Pola was working for us at that time. Now we Pola Chinchile, everything has changed. So, tactically, there's more into tactical than Uguti. So, look, City, let's play flair football. Young Todd. If you can look at we Chiefs, akafani nomedlala kwe-Chiefs. La is more of a needy guy who contribute team. Kwi-Chiefs, he doesn't give a Chiefs land. So we have more mehluko. I-mentality ebringwa coach kwi-national team ayifani njengasemathimini. So ngicela enye question yakho yesibili.
I wanted to ask you about the club versus country thing. Is Pirates not well within its rights to say, guys, Undao injured, Usesanu injured, Utoki is coming back, Usbanban is injured. Hey, we need emergency supplies here, and Ukonumbogazi. Guys, I'm sorry, we can't let him go. Or should clubs always let the players go?
Mina on my side, mtetele umfana azokwazi ukuthola exposure overseas. Mbogazi is still young.
Okay.
Let him go. Explore and some mistakes, because we are bound to make mistakes in life. So if uzonqaba nomfana for let me put it like this, ngicela ukwenza isibonelo ngumuntu eventually olaphana kwi national team, ule clock lo Sundowns, lo mfana omncane. Sundowns was there with Kaizer idlala nani ne Ahly. What happened? Umfana kabuyanga. In Morocco. So what's the difference between Tin and the Pirates? There's no bigger difference.
Can you argue that I understand the point you're making, but then you could argue that Mbogazi has now played in a final, he's now played in the league, he's now played in the Champions League, he was a starter.
Yes, I do understand. But see, I for one. A Pirates in the midfield, I think I'm a deep 6 6. Abantu abadlali number 6. You can take Ushan talent embathi umdlalisi center back, uthatha uMosela umfake, he will produce. It's not ukuthi abekho, they are there just ukuthi asifuni udedela the national. Kusasa if South Africa ngeke iziwini iAFCON, kuzobe sekcomplain ukuthi coach is not doing well. As might as kuyithi singafuna ukuthi coach benze kahle.
Okay.
You remember na national team yethu ku first team we had an argument of such thing lately dala ukuthi ama-team awasafuna ukudedela abadlali due to injuries. Upitso akafuna ukudedela abadlali be-Sundowns and all. Yeah, if you can recall. Ikhumbula into kanjalo.
Yeah.
So now it's time ukuthi simnike ucoach what he wants, so we can be a better nation.
Okay. Well, let me bring in Vutlari. Vutlari, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, brother. How are you?
I'm good, my brother. I'm good. Here, the guys, 18 minutes in, 0-0. They don't look overwhelmed. It doesn't look like Morocco is going to be outplaying them too much. How do you feel about the under-20s and maybe some of the conversations we've been having here?
Look, to be fair with you, but Amajid has never been really overwhelmed. Besides the last two games they played, the Nigeria one and the one before Nigeria, I think that was the quarterfinal one.
Yeah.
Leona, they were not really overwhelmed, but they seemed to want to sit back and play on a break. I guess that maybe they trust their defense more, where the defense is very disciplined. Flat three rest defense, very disciplined boys at the back. So, and if we were to look, there's something this Ndaga coach is doing. The previous 2 games, he didn't play Umfundo Vilakazi, Fundo Vilakazi didn't play at all. He's a great passer of the ball. I guess he plays based on how he wants to play. That time, the previous 2 games, he was not looking to play on a good passing range where you need a good passer on the ball, where he'll pass you anywhere you are and then you play with a break out of the pass. But he decided to say, I want to play low and play on a break where I go out with April and Humulimo at the front. He's a big boy. He will bully them. So I guess he knows his players and he knows how to play them. That's all I can say for me. But look, I'm not complaining about Bogazi not being here and Bogazi, Nkota, and the others. Hey man, playing in the Champions, you play you're playing at the highest level of the game. And look, under 20 AFCON, there is scouts. But if you're in Bogazi, where you're a hard defender, you're not gonna get exposure. But playing with the big boys, bullying the big boys at the back, where everyone is watching Mayele, and you are defending against Mayele. Look, man, that's the best you can do. Unfortunately, it didn't go well. I don't think if Pirates were in the final, anyway, if Pirates made it to the Champions League final, I don't think fans were gonna say this. Mbogazi and Kota were supposed to be in the AFCON. We are saying this because Pirates didn't make it to the final. But if they made it, Nkota was brilliant in the Champions League. Mbogazi was brilliant when he was introduced. What else do we want? What else do we want? I feel like
No, go on. Finish that sentence. Sorry.
I feel like we are being unfair to coaches when things they don't go our way. And when it goes our way, the conversation becomes slightly different. We need to be fair.
I'm seeing everybody going off about Obrigado right now and the passes he's making and the role is keeper. Oh, thank you, low. Okay, no, sorry. So I was saying, I'm hearing everybody going off about Obrigado and his passing and all of that stuff. I wanna ask an unfair question, and it's a Chiefs question. Why don't we see these things from Obrigado now? We saw a similar thing with Zwane at the All-Stars calling and all of that stuff. Where is Chiefs maybe failing these players in terms of their play?
Okay, as a Chiefs fan, and I'll be brutally honest here, you don't expect our problem is our coach.
Okay.
The problem is the coach. That's it. The way we play, you don't have to be a good passer to play in with Nabi. As long as you can run and just look up front and just kick the ball, we'll catch it up front. I think that's where we are in space. You can't see that from Obrigado. Look, Obrigado has been this player that passes. If we're watching the DDC teams, that was Obrigado. Even Duduz, when he came in, there was those passes that you used to make. But now with Nabi doesn't believe in that. As I'm saying, and I'm still going to say this, when Nabi came here, I said to you and Choine and Agent, I said, Nabi's not going to build a team. Nabi wants a team that is matured, a team that can just jump in and play, and he's not going to improve any players. Because with Chiefs, you need to improve players for you to do good. And Obrigado, he's a complete player in terms of development. Yes, we can argue about Kasi flavor and other things, but in terms of development, good kicker of the ball, good free kick taker, good long range taker, good passer. He's a complete player, good first touch. But under Nabi, you don't need to be any of those. Trust me, if you were to take Lilepo, I beg to differ with a lot, but if you were to take Lilepo to a Sundowns team, Lilepo is an average player. A team that plays football on the leg, but because the team runs, he looks good. So it's a lot of things, man. But hey, Chiefs, let's not talk about Chiefs, man. Nabi's going. Let's talk about Amajita. They're doing quite well.
No, just asking a question. Let me bring in Football Agent. Football Agent, welcome.
Hello, host. Before I continue, I told you during halftime with Sundowns, I said Magezi must not do what? I said Magezi must not close down Salas. They must not close down Renas. You see, they must not close down Mutau. You saw what Salas did. Why are you bothering yourself with those players? You just leave them. They're gonna miss or give you the ball.
Yeah.
Anyway, like the issue of again Kaizer Chiefs. I think the plan of Nabi is the best way to win games is not to have a game plan. I think that is his plan. Because when he plays, he just say, okay, Modi, I think what he's telling them is, Modi, you're going to play number 11, ne? Okay,
Yeah.
sharp. 11, you're going to play go number 10, ne? And then when I'm Simon go, what's about to defend, utaba number 4, aba number 10 is done. Then once you are on the field, now it's up to you how you are going to manage that thing. You understand? I know those coaches, they are there, those ones that says, just coach like that. But obviously, I think the reason it does not have a solid game plan is because Kaizer Chiefs have different players that have different style of play.
Yeah.
So if you want to introduce a new style of play, it means now you have to go and get players that fit your model of play. You understand?
Yeah.
Which is a good one. Now, speaking of under 20, I think our coach Mdaga, when we prepare for World Cup, I think we need 4 or 5 taller players, because I saw during Nigeria we're struggling. And remember, when you are going to play in the World Cup, you'll find more taller players that are good. Just that Nigerian players are tall, but in terms of the quality, they don't really possess it. But if you are going to find taller players that side from France, from Germany, from wherever, that are also good, we are going to face the similar problem where Banyana faced during the World Cup. I mean, at the moment, we only have that boy at the back, the center back who's tall. And you see, if that boy gets injured one way or another, I think those long balls are going to have a problem. But so far, some players are fine. If he can just find 5 tall players so that he can just try to balance the squad depending on which team they are playing with, I think our boys can go a little bit further. And congratulations for them, because reaching the final is already an achievement for us.
On that point, do you think that we could craft a football that would not necessarily need that many tall players? Like, is there a way to get around that? And maybe, I think of Barcelona when they had the tall guys were what? Gerard Piqué at the back. You could argue Busquets maybe, but a lot of the other guys were, average. Is there a way to craft a football where we can do that, or do we need the physicality and the height?
You do need the physicality with the height, but maybe balance it with the shortness, because short players, they offer you speed and agility, but tall players, they're going to offer you protection in terms of those long balls, in terms of those set pieces. You understand? Unless if you are going to have short players, they must be really good. You understand? So much so that if they meet tall players that are good, they can still, the difference won't be that much. But if you are going to have short players and then you have tall players that are good than your short players in terms of their ability and quality, you are going to have a problem in terms of trying to manage. It's better you have tall players that are not good. At least you can rely on the physicality part of it.
Okay. No,
Yeah, so I
guys,
think balancing the scale will be fine.
For time, I'm going to jump in, guys. 28th minute. Morocco has found some joy up that left-hand side of their attack, right-hand side of Amatita's defense. I think we need to make sure that whoever's playing the defensive sixes have to be a little bit closer to the defense in those areas. It seems as though 1 or 2 moves can take everybody out. And then you look at the trailing players. Morocco hasn't quite figured out how to get the ball to them. So we're going to see something there. But then let me bring in Soweto Gent. Soweto Gent, 28 minutes in, 0-0. AFCON under 20 final. Welcome, and how do you feel about these kids, man?
Good evening, everyone.
Or must I say young men? Hey, let me be respectful. How do you feel about these young men?
I think this is a typical South African team. I still feel like they're making mistakes, especially at the back. I don't know if they can afford to make those mistakes. I don't know if like Morocco is that good of a team that they can punish. But I've seen shots coming in there, and our goalkeeper is class. I don't wanna lie, because those are shots you could like concede, and yeah, he saved like 2 already. So yeah, that boy is good. I won't lie. But
Are the defensive mistakes down to just players making mistakes, or do you think it's a structure thing? Where are the mistakes coming from?
I mean, passing. So I think it's like his strength, summer player. I think it comes down to his strength, the developmental summer player. I don't think it's a okay. I don't think it's a technical thing, like in terms of coaching. Yeah, well, I think the coaching
Yeah.
looks good. Yeah, looks
Sorry,
good.
sorry.
But yeah, I think it comes down to his strength, summer player. Technique. Like Ibola Maliza, you can't just want to pass it. Don't try paqala. There's no pressure. If there's no pressure, you trap and then you pass. So yeah, I think it comes down to his technique and his strengths up. But overall,
Yeah, okay, no, go on, yeah.
overall, I think I'm happy with how they are approaching it, not rushing, but trying to find the counter. Yeah, because I think they want to find that counter and catch them by surprise. I've seen it like working a couple of times, and that's how they've reached the final. To my understanding, they've always tried to play the ball at the back, and then Bazenalo from a counter when the opponent loses the ball from those kind of positions.
Do you think we should be teaching the kids this way? A lot of people will say, "That's the ipola lethu, man. It's funny ipola lethu."
I think we can afford to make if like there's a chance to give the opponent the ball, and then let them come in and try to attack, and then win them. I think we can afford to do that, and win the game. We can afford to give the opponent Ebola and then catch them on a counter. But
but can we afford to do that versus this Morocco team, who have shown maybe that even though they haven't been in the game fully, they've gotten a lot of chances and they've gotten a lot of chances on target? Are we risking here?
it does feel like we're risking. Yeah. Morocco, yeah, has gotten good chances so far. But something in me I doubt that they would keep up that kind of football. Yeah, well, that kind of football is hard to maintain for the rest of the game. Maybe 15 minutes thing, and then it tops, and then you start seeing them playing their normal way again. It's hard to maintain. Yeah, well, they won't keep on coming and pouncing on us. Yeah, well, at some point they will be tired, and then we'll be the one with the ball. Yeah, well. So yeah, that's just my philosophy. I don't know, but I think it works.
Okay.
And I'd like to see these boys, playing for a first team in 5 years' time. I think this is
why not now? 5 years is so long.
Is it long? I mean,
Bola Minyamala playing, man. 5 years.
These boys don't look like they can play for the first team. We still need those Sundowns guys. We still need a Masanda on our face to win the World Cup. We are on the edge of qualifying for a World Cup. So yeah, man, let's just develop these kids under 28 and then yeah. But for now, yeah, Sundowns must carry us. They must carry us to the World Cup.
Okay. April causing a lot of problems for this Morocco defense. He seems to be the player that is our outlet. Managed here to win a yellow card. So number 15 from that side, Zahawani has now got a yellow card because April has been on top of him. April has been leading those counter-attacks. I see Bafana's talking about how quick April is. Those counter-attacks have been blistering very fast, and they've been a lot of problems. They've made a lot of problems. Sorry, caused a lot of problems. Butali, tell me a little bit about what you're seeing in the game 34 minutes in.
OT. there's a very specific and similar problem that I'm seeing. I don't want to talk about Chiefs, but let me just make a quick example.
Yeah.
That space in front of the defense is way too big, OT.
Yes.
It's way too big. The defense is far away from the midfield. That's not if teams that are smart will exploit that space, and that's what Morocco are doing. You know, it's one pass into the 10 in that space. You know, the defense is gone. You know, so if we can if we can either instruct not Khomlemekekane, his partner, to drop deeper and make it a 6 and 8, not a double 8, because it's a double 8 right now. We have no 6, so drop him deeper. Khomolome plays as the 8, and that progresses to Mfundo, who's playing in the pockets. Yeah, I think that will fix that. Not all, because that left hand side is still a problem. But I'd rather have attacks from the wing than through the middle, because through the middle, then you can feed players you know, you can feed the front three, but from the wings, then it becomes a 1v1 situation. So I'd rather have 1v1 situations than defending through the middle. But other than that,
No, I was gonna say, tell me about the support. It seems like, I don't know if it's a case that our team really trusts that defense, but they're leaving them mano a mano quite a bit. And I know the distances we've spoken about, but it feels as though the rest of the team is going, no, Low will do the job and the back four will do the job, but they're getting overwhelmed at times.
I mean, yeah, that's the core problem, that we are playing with 2 8s. That's the core problem. We are getting overwhelmed because we don't have a deep midfielder. We don't have an extra man there. So when they get through our midfield, then it's just we can get overwhelmed very easily. We can get outnumbered forward very easily because we don't have a deep midfielder. That's the core problem that we are facing here. But I want to talk about the attack real quickly. Mfundo's not getting much of the ball in this. I would like him to get on the ball more, because he has that that final pass, so I'd like to get him much more of the ball. So I'd like Kekana to progress the ball and find him in those pockets and let him be our creative playmaker. And Shaquille April, just keep doing what he's doing, getting pass players, getting him isolating him, getting him in 1v1 situations. I think they have a great return on investment for us. But yeah, that's so far what I'm seeing.
Mshamase, tell me about what you're seeing in this game, 37 minutes in.
Mr. OT, ngicela sishayeleni izandla i-DDC first.
Okay.
Because we're having players adlala kwi-DDC, and the more edlala ibhola lethu liya-improve. So njengamanje, what I'm looking at in our team, sishoda ngu-number 9 onjengoMahopa.
Okay.
The crazy number 9 lo ozohlezi nama-defender. Because njengamanje Morocco is too relaxed emumva more than attacking. So yiyo into enza ukuthi begcine bebaningi. Yayibona leyo nto. If sebeza thina. So I wish ucoach wami ngayibona, ngazi ukuthi uzofaka uba, because abafana abancane angibazi ukuthi obani abakhona. Yayibona leyo nto.
Okay.
Yangizwa Mr. OT.
Yeah, no, ngiyakuzwa.
So at this moment sishoda number 9, because the boy on the right hand side, he's been the power kule team. Uyaba frustrated because ngasonke isikhathi if we sifuna ukuphuma in a danger zone, siphuma ngaye lo mfana lo yikhaladi on the right hand side. Yeah, ibona nto Mr. OT. So umuntu oseshoda is the guy on the left hand side ukuthi akacooperate or adlale u false number 3 ukuthi ngizoku-assist left back yami, but astedele i-right winger ibe more offensive.
Okay.
Yeah, yizwa leyo nto.
Okay.
Yeah, so These guys badlalisa leli bhola lase North Africa ngempela ke manje. Une-right ngisi lento kaKekana.
For time. Yeah, no, Shamas. Oh,
Ngifuna
lemon chai.
ngayibona ngalento kaKekana.
Kayibona.
Hayi VAR.
Sithi ayithi VAR.
Kodwa mengathiwa khona umdlalo olimele uzoyibona. Okay, you can continue, Mr. Oti.
I think it was VAR. I believe that the problem is that VAR is not activated on a restart. So I believe because they were still in the restart doing what they were doing with the yellow card, VAR can't check the. I believe so, but I don't know. But anyway, refs there in the comments, please confirm there. So it's a gent, 40 minutes in, still 0-0. I know we're playing well, but it does seem like Morocco has had maybe the better of the chances, or not the better of the chances, but their chances have come a little bit easier, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I still think it's like our mistakes there at the back, even like the goalkeeper. And there, Magabamba, that first shot, I think maybe I'll keep peeling a public bay corner, but all deflected along in Nepal, and if Melcholi played Morocco, it could have been something else. Yeah, So yeah, I mean, I don't like these mistakes, but the boys, I trust them. I trust Uti. They will get a goal like before Samba Vale on the first half.
Okay. I wanna bring in Usinje. Sinje,
Alala,
how are you, showstopper? Champion.
I'm alright, champ, man. How are you?
I'm still feeling champy, man. I don't know if that's a
Are you champion?
I'm
Are you
champy now.
champion-ish? I see the others. But I see the others are trying to get some champ vibes. But yes. It's like we're watching a forum that has found a Chotsi that was robbing a Makulu in the street, and they are bringing him. Just a group of people, about in minority rights. Bazami vibe, Mr. Oti, Bazami vibe, Poppy, to the poppies and Nissel dance me. Bazama firecrackers, yeah, they are not doing it, man, because even the firecrackers are not going above the stadium, Mr. Oti. 8-time Champions League. And yet their celebration, this team.
No. Leave them alone. Here are some other people that could be champions now. How do you feel about the under-20s? Hey, Mara.
Mr. Oti, I think this team, I want to agree to those that says credit to the DDC. It has produced quality players. I'm impressed with this goalkeeper. I've been impressed with him, even in the Sierra Leone game when I started noticing him. But with regarding Umfundo, I think the must also take it to the level of the football that is played. Also determines how you play him as well. I think this level does give him the platform to be used as a 10 vis-a-vis in terms of the level of football we are playing in the Betway Premiership League, where for me I think we are using him quite correctly as a left-footed right winger or inverted winger, if you want to call it that way. But also again, you can't rely on Umfundo to be your main strength and pillar and the go-to guy at this age. As a super sub, I think in the PSL and his age as well, it is quite appropriate.
I want to ask you something though on that.
Yes.
Do you think that, I know Coach Nebi has been mentioned and things like that, but I want to ask, is this maybe a case of Guti? he's playing with his peers.
Yes.
And when he's playing with his peers, there might be a little bit more, I don't know, control that he can exert. And maybe what's missing at Kaizer Chiefs is not necessarily that he can't play the 10, but it's that, you know, he's shouldering the entire burden if he were to play the 10 instead of having people around him that maybe balance it out. I don't know if you get what I'm asking.
Yeah, no. I get what you're asking, but I think at Chiefs as well, you are. I think one of the things that are also at Chiefs, it's like when my frustration with Gavin Hunt when he was coach at Chiefs with the Blom issue is that Gavin will prefer playing Blom as a 6, while he's got a poor Ngezana as a right back. Whereas I believe Blom was a better right back than Ngezana, and you could have played Unange as your 6. Okay. And I think it's more or less the same thing with Chiefs, is that do you trust Vilakazi as a 10 more than a Serino? More than a Mdu Chabalala, more than a George Matro, more than I would even dare put in a Samkelos one. In terms of the hierarchies of number 10, I don't think a Chiefs Fundo Vilakazi is at number 2 or number 3. As a right winger, inverted winger as a Chiefs, I think he's there at number 2, at West at number 3, with Lilepo, Duba, and Dupriz and Fundo Vilakazi. Those are your main right wingers that you can play with at Chiefs. So at the Bafana, I don't think there's a 20-year-old who is a better 10 than Mfundo Vilakazi. And I think that's where the coach then starts to play him better as a 10 than right as an inverted winger. So also that also plays a role as well in terms of the quality of the player as well. I mean, like we saw even in the Cheng squad, we saw Samkelo Zwane and Potsane doing very well with Nseki's team as well. So it does show that, yeah. And one other thing, Mr. Oti, this is a testimony that you cannot go to Africa with a national team that does not have Kaizer Chiefs players and you are going to do well. You don't reach the final. The gods and the football gods of South Africa will turn their backs on you. You are not going to get the final if you go to Africa and the national team without Kaizer Chiefs. That is a message to Hugo Boss. Hola, Malumukutso.
Wait for time. Let me bring in Ace of Spades. Before I bring Ace of Spades, guys, we're going to have... Yeah, we're going to halftime now. So I'm just going to continue. I think we're going to talk a lot throughout this thing. But please, guys, please remember that we are here for these guys. So the conversations we're having have to revolve around this, what we're speaking about now. But let me bring in Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades, welcome. Ace of Spades, are you with me? Ivan. Okay, we'll come back. Let me go to Lu Scorpio.
Hey, Mr. OT, how's it?
How are you, my brother?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm okay.
Can you hear me?
Mean, hey, who's speaking now? Is that Ace
My
of Spades?
network is back.
Ace of Spades is back.
Okay, Ace of Spades, I'm going to give you some time. What do you think of the first half? Let's see
Hello?
how bad. Ace of Spades, I'm going to take you off. Try come back in. Lou, tell me, 0-0 first half. Is this a good outing for the boys? Good result first half? How do you feel about this game?
Yeah, Mr. OT, I don't know how to feel about this, but normally the boys come out second half, So I'm not impressed with a lot of things in this game, Mr. OT. The first one is, I don't think Captain to Rampo. I don't think his side is effective, Mr. OT, on the left. Because we normally play with wing play, So, yeah, I don't think that side is effective. Maybe if coach can bring in Ulo, Upili, Dangilish, maybe it might be better, but I don't think they will sub the captain. And then there's also the issue with the right back. Oh my goodness. Angazi noma uyakwazi ukudefenda or uya-attack, but I'm just not impressed with his side. Yeah. And then with Esheni, he's a bit flat as well. I don't know if maybe they're gonna look to bring Umahlangu in, who can play that 9 position very well, and then Esheni can be very mobile. But overall, I'm hoping the boys can fix a lot of things coming to the second half and just use that wing play more and just
How do you get the ball through Obi, Obrigado? Or is this a game for him? Should we be seeing some of the other boys coming in who can maybe not need to dictate the ball and can play off of it more so that you can go into the wing play? Or do you need to keep him there?
We need to see more of Ukekana and Omaku in the second half, honestly, because I don't know. With them, they're just not bossing you midfield as well. They're just flat there on that side. So we need to see more of them so that the ball gets to Ulo, Umfondo, then we can see a lot of wing play then.
Are you worried at all that maybe we're being very risky with Morocco? Like I said, look, halftime, we've had 6 shots, they've had 6 shots. Both of the teams have had 3 on target. Do you trust us to go finish the job, especially now in the final? Or are we risking here?
It might be lucky like Nigeria. So against Nigeria, we might be lucky. If the longer the game goes, normally we come alive, later on the game. As long as we're not down, Jay, I think we can really, bring it.
Okay. No, Lou, thank you so much. Let me go to Malume Kuto.
Hey, Mr. Utsi, kunjani?
Hi, Kimnati man, kishebile hopefully a bunch of winners here.
Hey, good Lord, we've always had great youth teams. How many youth cups do we have?
No, I'm not saying winning
Besides
cups. When we talk about talent, Mokwena came from a team. Both Dylan Klassen came from a team. Matthew Booth came from a team. Aaron Mokwena. We've always had those guys, but the problem is that, for me, 80% not 80, let's say 60% of that team never sees the light of day afterwards.
Oh, so we have 0, ne? So maybe we must revisit that statement.
Great doesn't mean winners, Malume Kuzo.
No, it's okay. We'll revisit that conversation. I have to ask, is this a safe space?
Let's hear it. Go for it.
What do you think of Madagascar as a national team throughout history?
I don't rate it very highly.
You don't rate it very highly. Would you be shocked if Madagascar went through to AFCON group stages, knockout round?
Yeah, I'd say yes.
That wouldn't be normal, ne?
I think so.
Madagascar went through to the CAF knockout stages.
Yeah.
Right? And when you check when was this? Let's pause. Let's park that one. Eh?
Okay.
The indomitable Lions. Hey, they're not so domitable these days, don't you think? They're domitable actually. These days, don't you think?
Yeah, well, it depends. Abu Bakr did relatively okay.
Right? So what I'm asking here is, I'm not taking anything away from anyone. Don't you think it does contribute when your father is in charge? Like angithi amajiko mnandi. Maritama lakho meli in charge. Awucabanga ukuthi make funda iscript sakho uthi I can see bekazama ukuthini lo muntu. Uthi kahle kahle bekethi 1 + 1 is 11. Kahle kahle bekathi labo 1 abayi2 if you put them next to each other they make it. Don't you think Mr. Uti? I mean, right now we are dominating everywhere. Sinama-team ayi-2 kuma-semi-final e-CAF. Into esingayazi nathi simangele. Sine-team under 17 yaku-World Cup. and one of the teams they qualify but tournament extendiwe kungena abanye sine team manje ku-final kumnandi Mr. OT sine Chen iChen nayo bengaqualifyanga ku tournament extendiwe zamani futhi boys. Hi, let's be honest. I am not saying the boys are not good enough. I am saying, would it be far-fetched to say the father is assisting?
Well, shouldn't we be happy that the father's assisting?
And by assisting, I am not saying assisting which we benefit. Assisting, I mean to say, ningalinge niropa bafana bam. Give my boys a fake game. So I'm just questioning the nature of the game. I'm like, why? And did you hear which? I'm not questioning Bafana Yodwa. You see? Now we qualified for that under 17 via backdoor. So what I'm saying is, should we not question African football? Which in Jalo, when your statesman is at the helm, a national team as bad as Madagascar goes through to the knockout stages of AFCON. It's too late. See, that's normal. We grew up watching Madagascar, beating them left, right, and center.
Yeah.
They were in the group stages, knockout stages.
But can I say this then? When in Rome.
Definitely.
South Africa hasn't been in Rome. When in Rome.
You understand, Mr. Uti? I am not questioning the current emperor of Rome. I am questioning the whole state of Rome to say, guys, should we really look at Rome and think it's a real thing? Should we be oblivious to such? And the boys are doing that. I'm very proud of these boys. And I can...
Can I expand your analogy? And maybe it'll tie back to this. We finally have teams, I know you're speaking about the one side, but we finally have teams that are competing proper. Let's say Bafana third, AFCON. These guys are now in the final. People are qualifying. But the thread that I'm hearing is that there's a certain type of football that is being played that might not look like our normal football. Are we having, as South Africa as a whole, a when in Rome moment to say, okay, guys, you've been fighting so hard to play your football and do your things the way you want to do them. But now, all of your success, or most of your success, not all, is coming from doing something that you are not used to, whether, as you are alluding to, off the pitch or on the pitch. Are we having a situation in South Africa where we are now maybe telling the truth about ourselves, if that makes sense?
Probably, but I just want to correct something.
Yeah.
I am not saying, I can see people are not listening, like, even in the comment section. I am not saying our beloved president is up to mischief. I am just saying maybe his presence.
They respect him, and by respecting him, they're respecting his home country, which maybe means that some things that would fall a certain way, fall a different way normally instead of, that's, yeah.
If there's a push in the box against us, they're like, but you pushed him. But under normal circumstances, they would have said, be strong, dog. You understand?
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to go back to what you asked. Mr. Oti, I've been alive and I've been watching football.
Yeah.
We went to the World Cup. Kabo Wiseman Meyiwa.
Yeah.
We defended. This is not the first time. I mean, I'm not under this thing with Tina Zala, itikitaka le, abantu bakhuluma amanga lana. We defended against our Italy, 90 minutes. We went to our Olympics against Brazil.
Yeah.
We were playing Jose Mazibugo 9-9, Mr. Uti. Basically 8-1-1 with Gift Ntupa and Dolly being the only attacking players.
Yeah.
Everyone was defending. 8 men behind the ball. I was there. I watched it. No one is going to tell me, hey, Tina Bisikara, what, build it from the back, total football. I mean, I was there. I saw it. We went to the Women's World Cup. We played Tembi Khatlana, Balande. What do you call it? Hamba to Breeze. We're like Hamba Tembi.
Yeah.
there by the Women's World Cup, every time we've been asked tough questions, we've always resorted to defensive football. This lie that Tina Sialoka, Aliko, Mr. Oti, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. We try to make it as if Sundowns here, even at the previous AFCON, abomkwena bebalkhaba balandele, and that's okay. That has been our play, Mr. OT. Les about 96, I was not conscious enough to see with Begwen Zagalani, so I won't talk about it as much. Ngibona amavala Dr. Kumalo, ngibona ama-through when they winning balls very nicely. Highlights, you understand. But of late, after about 2010, I've always seen us defend when we ask tough questions. We've never asserted playing philosophy, which is Zoloka. I mean, even with Shakes Mashaba, they might Shakes Mashaba when he went to the AFCON, it became tough. Started defending when we drew 2-2 in Nigeria. Tukelo Ranti bekachayisa amadoda ayi-1. Our wins. So nje Mr. OT, yikho lento le ukuthi sina dlala itikitaka njalo. This is new lento yokudefenda. We've been defending when it's tough. But I'm just saying, maybe we should be thankful that manje abasasi ropi, because the mighty CAF president now resides in South Africa. Thank you, Mr. Uti. Just something to think about. Food for thought.
Let me bring in Pilani. Pilani, welcome to the show. How are you? Guys, we're getting ready for the second half. Pilani?
I'm good, Rena. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm watching football. I'm hearing the conversations, man.
Can someone explain to me for 5 marks? Ufundo vilakazi wenzani?
Yeah, I'll leave it to the comments.
Wenzani? Like ushama kopteki, ushaitikitaka leyo tikutso beka isho, he's losing the ball. Jengoba he was busy passing back, then he hits us on a counter. So I don't know, man. And looking at the game, I see like how much that they slowly getting into it. And as the previous commenter said, the longer we go, the better South Africa is, like, progressively, you know.
Okay.
And especially like towards like the second half of the first half, towards like half time, in Morocco they're being like more physically aggressive now. You know, so it's one of the being like
Pilani, you're jumping there. Just repeat that last part.
Like dirty tactics. Nyabona ukuthi like Morocco is starting to like resort to like a little dirty tactics, you know, like we're like physically and back up and abantu. Mara njengoba abuthi Khoza said, uDaddy use VIP ubukele. Ubukele, they're not getting away with as much. So into Yvonne, so far so good. I think I do have a feeling good to like we might take it, but then we're gonna like take it like in a very like awkward way. But for me it's like it's the way that I see things, you know.
I want to talk about structure. You look at this Amachita team. Are they having similar problems to maybe what Pirates experiences sometimes, where yes, you've got Mpuke and you've got Nkota, but then you might miss out on Tito, and maybe Obrigado is not playing the football that you need to play when you've got April and Ashene on the pitch. How do you feel about that? Do you think that maybe there's no, what do you call it? There's no Masehua is failing me now, guys. It's late on Sunday. There's no one system. It's a bunch of systems, and maybe they're just holding on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, and I wonder like where you're going with it. We're like they're just like more like fluid, and they're pretty much like going on like vibes. not like vice versa, but then they're pretty much going like in the way as like how the game was going. But then the way going corner, defensively from Morocco's side, they are like pressing up. There is like a form of Genga pressing that they're doing, especially like with the back four. And then within the middle, in Morocco it is like squeezing. It is like kind of like squeezing like the midfield, you know. So hence why like the back line they keep like passing balls, especially to like Shaquille April, you know. So it's more like a helicopter football type of thing.
It feels like Pirates. It feels like April is in court.
In a way, yeah. In a way, I do see that because now because April and Okota, one thing they have in common is that they go at defenders. You know, so and Shaquille April, like he's quite fearless. He's a very, very fearless like player.
Yeah.
You know, so
okay.
Man, I do have hope. We hope you corner, anytime you corner. You know, so you must just hold on.
Okay. Let me bring in Koke. Koke, welcome to the show. How are you?
Ngiyabonga bhuti man. Thanks man. Greetings to everyone umamele man. Sanibonani bathanda abalandeli bebhola na uthi namhlanje ngiCookie Cup. Cookie Cup namhlanje sibuyile mara ngeke celebrate waya kunomsebenzi omkhulu kumele siwenze. But sebamba la. No man uthi
ngibonele cup ngathi it looks like it's 12 teams. 11 teams holding up 4 teams holding up 1 lapha.
Usihlahla lapho uthi ihabli uthi ngathi ihabli angazi ayilana bane couple lehabli ayeyaseke labantu ngede mina ngiyalithanda la couple idla ngazi walifuna le couple lehabli
man kushota ama pipe sibe ama
pipe bathi ilahla lapha phezulu South Africa.
Super guys. You think you're not
I can't play to Salah. To do a payment designer, be inspired.
Be shape.
Be inspired. License got this school. Actually,
it's still a person. I'm going trouble, please.
Actually, got you.
I'm going to get a Thursday, but
but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And then yes, good late design by change after that confirm good swing league, but color by change. It's fine. That's why I'm looking at Veli. Happy but we will let her go. Change design. But OT on the serious note.
Might as well.
Hey, problem. No, Kawang isikhathi singasilindile.
Ay, keeper.
Yo.
I know.
Hey, makasave lapho.
What a save. Yo.
Makasave. Ngisazosho uthi man lo boy lona man ubuya kuphi kahle kahle. Where does the boy play?
I'm actually not sure. Guys in the comments, where does Low play?
No man, no. Yabona this boy and nale center package from Stellenbosch. No,
Yeah.
guys, Stellenbosch and serious note is cooking. Even that April guy, na lumunyu Ashley Banbani lumunyu loya. No man, Stellenbosch is cooking. I mean, since the tournament this boy has been working for us. But he plays in England. I know yabonakala man. No, the boy is quality.
Portugal. Yeah.
But the boy is quality, guys. The boy is quality, guys. I have not seen the save akaqeda ukuyenza manje because ngila now uthi ngisezabuyela ngipe but kunale kayenze first half leya mengithi yenetini leya. No, I think the boys quality. I think we deserve. Iyabona amachita mela amlwele bawine le game, bawine tournament. Ayithatha goalkeeper of the tournament. I think mina so far he's been the standard goalkeeper. He deserves goalkeeper of the tournament umfana. Uyadlala umfana. But uthi something also I want to touch on ukuthi engibonile ngithandile mina emachiteni ukuthi they can score one goal and suffer.
Okay.
They're not scared of suffering. Bayakwazi ukuthi bavele bapaka ibus and suffer. So I know ukuthi this game then abadinga only one goal. They only need one goal and then they will suffer for the rest of the game. Baba win game bathatha couple babuye ekhaya. I hope elabafana lethu libe ngamahabi. But I know the boys can suffer on that one. Ngiyabazi that one I promise even mangama free kick amakhona kanje just ngimamanje umoya ukuthi mabangakora leli one lento akayisho ukuthi uhamba to praise noma ngayenza kali mistake bekhona one olchayisa lingene but I know the boys know how to suffer. And then another thing I think they could use is that that number 15 boys Omakyo April frustrated that side even nalo okule side leli la ka lo the other side Ahly banibani on the other side labafana bayakapa and lo munye number 15 sekane yellow card. So I think what they could do is to tell April ukuthi go at him again because yambona ukuthi physically utouch and everything. So angayithola lapha something efana ne red card akhiphe lamfana bayashota defensively and we can do something. But also umuntu that I think that should take charge of this game umfundo should take charge of this game. He should show that ukuthi on a senior contract udlala nabantu abadala ibhola. He should come to his senses. I was disappointed ngokuthi naye sekafuna ukudlala amapass. It's time ukuthi abe in charge of the game, alanda ibhola from emuva deep alicele enyaweni. Yes coach maybe umfuna in that number 10 role but alicele enyaweni bafethu ngicele enyaweni.
Yes. Mina, the way I'm looking at them, it still feels like Mas Petit Paula, it's very open. Like it's a very, guys, do what you need to do. Whereas in Morocco, you can see the 3, the 4, the what, like you have a bona. Is it something that we need to look at, or is it how South African football is? Good time and
that is why I need someone that's matured in that thing because ngiyambona uHomulimo uyazama ne but ushawa into encane idinga umuntu onengqondo nyane extra kancane njengovilakazi ukuthi okay that's why ngithi ayenze let me take you back game earlier on manje ukuthi mangena ushika bhala ukuthi wenzeni. You saw what Thembazwane did. As much as he's a number 10 was given a free role but he would drop back ayenze build up. There was a time whereby the build up was so smooth and so clean that bangene 18 kulela oshalulile azoyenza la amkalangwane, that kind of thing with the ball the way lize ngakhona iball. You need someone that's matured oze nginikene enyaweni maliza kuyi angangeka yenza into ezicomplicated afuna ukhipha ipass simple pass, straight pass nana so that the ball libe ne rhythm. Because right now yes bayalibamba bayazama ukubuild up but there's no rhythm.
Yeah.
You need that rhythm with everyone to be on the same level with saltasha. Because manje bayazama ukulithasha. There was this number 6 guy who move. Bazama ukulithasha but intercept the ball that we almost considered. By great chance. So you need Opri to come up and stand up and be mature and say, guys, it is not rush. Even if Itashi Akona does not necessarily mean song grounding. Even if it could be, let's choose a side. Okay, on number 15, let's bombard that side. Every time I be side, and then they'll get something.
No, thank you.
But but I think anyone that would come in, even Nali Outile, Lentana Ebuya we Sundowns, Lela Payana, yes, he can also do that. Come into the middle field, so that also it's gonna help them when they're bombarding one side, even defensive, it's gonna be simple good market because every time I lose the ball, you notice that team it was fast if you boxing lead. But when you bombard one side, it means we can mark in shape, reorganize in that area since counter press immediately. So mina ngibona kanjalo Mr. Uthi ngiyabonga.
No, thank you okay. Guys, some changes were made there. It seems like Ashene and Vilakazi have come off, so maybe he's trying to correct that. I still believe that the problem is that you have to pick what style of play you're going to play, and when you play guys in J and free roles and whatever, sometimes you lose them. Umfundo, maybe once the ball at his feet to the 10 that's like that, progresses up the middle or find him. But because we are relying on April, and again, it could be Morocco, you give them credit, but because we're playing April there, and we're going up through April, it takes him out of the game. So very similar to what happened to Tito, some of the games when he's on the pitch with Kimang Mahopa and Fukeng and Kota. The ball doesn't necessarily come to Tito. So then you kind of miss him. But in any case, Mandla, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, thank you very much, Mr. OT.
Mandla, tell me, how do you feel about the game, things that we've been speaking about here?
Listen, I'm very happy. I'm impressed with what the under-20s are doing. And I'm impressed because I think they are showing an understanding of how to play tournament football. Okay? I think tactically, they understand what needs to be done. It doesn't have to be fancy. You've got to stick to the basics. For you, when you are facing a North African team, you've got to know that you need to keep the basics right and tight. And I think a lot of the commentary from us as South Africans when we look at football, not only African football, but world football, we don't understand where the consciousness of football is. We are siafatuza, we're walking in the dark. And that's why we are not in the top 10 countries in the world in terms of how football is played. Because our football association and us as well, we've had for a long time a very poor understanding of where football is and where football is going. And there are isolated sparks of excellence of people who understand where football is. And Patrice has understood Uguti, how do you plug a developmental gap? You pump money and knowledge into it, and you build systems. A lot of teams that have fallen by the side, they have not built the systems to get athletes and performance out of athletes. And as a result, abantu bazokutshela about some of the commentary, you just see, no, we're not understanding where this is. If you look at, I'm going to take you to 2009. In fact, I'm going to take you to 2010, the coach that we had, a Brazilian coach in 2010. And he said, when he came to the Bafana camp, he realized that there are some players in Bafana level who couldn't trap a ball. And what was that? It was a developmental gap. But when you look at the kind of work that Sundowns does, Stellenbosch does, Supersport does, is developmental work. They get players to do the right things in the right areas at the right moments. And that's why you've got Stellenbosch in the Confed. That's why you have got Pirates and Sundowns in the CAF Champions League. That's why you've got Sundowns where it is. They do the simple stuff very simple. They understand tournament football. They understand everything that comes with it. As South Africans, as fans, we don't invest. Uzbuk as a fan, what is your understanding and how as a fan are you enhancing your love and knowledge of football? And we have a lot of fans who walk around and talk nonsense. And we have a lot of journalists who go around write nonsense about football. Don't understand where is European football and what is demanded. For you to be in the top 5, in the top 10, they don't go to those countries and see our local football associations. What do they do? Tina, we're excited by our Shobo games, the Philly games. We're in other countries that are doing much, much, much more. I'll give you lesh. You get what I'm saying?
Do you know what I've always said? I don't mind Ugul Kibel and things like that. My issue now, and it's it's a fight I've been having this year. My issue is, okay, fine. You don't rate this football. Let's say you don't rate this football. You say this football is boring. It's what. But have you done the work to make sure that your football makes sense? So one of the things I've been saying is, Maul Kibela, have we studied then? I'm just going to use that example. Have we studied the Atogul Kibela? So you can explain to me where and why and how, so that I can impart that knowledge to the next kid, Ozol Kibela, right? So, for example, Catenaccio. When I say Catenaccio, you know what Catenaccio is. It was studied. It was revised. It was put into situationally what. But as South Africans, I don't think we've done the work to say, okay, Utito Magal Kibela. These are the situations. It's a hot game. We haven't been able to hold the ball. We need to calm it down. You give it to Tito Kibela in this situation, and we understand why. Okay, it's so that we can all calm down, and then we'll start the ball up again. Or even stupid things like Sial Kibela to wake up the crowd. Tito was explaining it. To wake up the crowd, to wake up the other players, or to at least when we're scared, we come in. Like Coach Wami, when I was under 15, used to say, first thing you go for the spy two with the guy. The first thing you do when he comes to you, because for the rest of the game, he's not going to mark you the same way. Like there has to be, we don't put enough thought into our football. We just have an arrogance. You get, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you absolutely spot on. In this Zenzayo, there are isolated actions. So as a coach, you need to make sure Guti, your players are not running around and doing isolated actions. They understand what needs to be done at what moment. And I think for me now, and I want to give an example, maybe Chiefs fans can understand and Pirates fans can understand. When Stuart Baxter came to the country, he was a development coach. When Riviero came to the country, he was a development coach. And that's why those teams did very well, because they were not dealing, it was not at an elite level. They brought development coach to coach professional players. You get what I mean? And that's where we are as a country. We're just stuck somewhere there in the middle. And Ubaba Lo, who is at CAF, unfortunately with Sundowns, he pumps a lot of guys and money so that it's not isolated actions. And that's why you see the mentality at Sundowns. What is it? The Sundowns players don't care how beautiful the trophy is. You can bring a can of baked beans, but beans over that. Did you get what I mean? It is the mentality. We will dominate. We don't care what you bring onto the table. You get what I mean?
So can I ask, just as the last question to bring it back to this? We speak about development, but now we are sitting with an under-20 team where, I don't want to say majority because I don't know where some of them play, the others play, but a lot of them don't play first-team football week in, week out. How much of a problem is that as well? That and it's part of the point I was making earlier, that we had so many youth teams that did well. Maybe not this one, but they did well enough where we had the talent. But when it's now the next step, he's 20. Now he's learning basics. Now he's learning this. Now this is where he must get international exposure. How much does that hold us back?
Okay.
If you agree or not.
Here's the answer. The answer is, in a beautiful thing that is happening, the DDC. The DDC has got a lot of younger players generally, okay? And I think the DDC is helping in ways that people are not realizing. And I mean, you look at a coach like Arthur Zwane, former DDC coach, and he came senior at Chiefs, struggled a little bit in terms of getting the numbers, but his numbers were better than Nadi's numbers. Okay, and he was a development coach. All right, so maybe we need a level of patience with so-called development coach. Khanye is doing well. at the DDC at Pirates. That's why he was able, Makanya, to have a proper conversation with Riviero and to say, this is where I am at DDC, this is what I'm doing with players. And that's why Pirates have got this particular pipeline that from DDC to the first team. And unfortunately, Sundowns, the pipeline is a little bit slower, but the pipeline at Sundowns is there. So to answer your question, to say, how do we strengthen the under-20 team, it's you gotta look at the DDC and the work that the DDC does. And unfortunately, we've got to rely on that because we're relying on that because we don't have our local football federations that have got the money, that have got the money, that have got solid money. All of our billionaires, bafuna ukubonakala on TV, no one wants to pump in long money. And I think the beautiful thing about the Motsepe family is that they've got the foundation and they are pumping a lot of money into football. I mean, the Motsepe League, the K Motsepe Foundation, so they are pumping a lot of money into football. Abanyana, when they get stuck and they say they want money from Denny can't pay money. The Motsepe Foundation paid money for it. You get what I mean? So how do you bridge a developmental gap? You pump money into brilliant ideas and you plug the gap.
For time, I'm going to have to just jump in there, guys. We are 68 minutes into the game, still 0-0. Hey, guys, I still feel like we're playing freeform football, and the freeform football is not coming together, but let's see what's going to happen here. Letabo, welcome to the show.
Thanks, OT. Thanks for the opportunity, my brother. Congratulations to the champions, the Yellow Nation, the best team in the country, in Africa.
Wait. Before you say anything, I just want to show you, hey, South Africans. It's a super, guys. I don't know if that's visible. It's a super, guys.
Yeah.
All of this AI, and the first thing you do is to make the Hablika. Anyway, yeah, sorry about that.
It's an African trophy. We mustn't be too Eurocentric, we must enjoy and, express ourselves with our Africanness. But anyway, yeah. OT, I've heard a lot of people speak here about this development side and whatnot. Here we go.
Goal.
Offside.
It looked offside. Goal. Are they going to call it?
It's an offside.
Wait, let's see. Offside, yeah, offside. But is it? No, guys, I feel like there's people, offside. Anyway, go ahead. No, sorry about that.
We don't have a quality or a development issue in South Africa. We have an integration issue. Absolutely don't have a quality or a talent issue or whatever. We have an integration issue whereby what happens when a guy is now past the under 19 age? What happens to them then? That's the main problem in South Africa because our young players should not be in the PSL. Abu Mfundo, Abu Letlaku, Mabena, and the likes, they shouldn't be in the PSL. They're not good enough to be in the PSL.
Yeah.
They should be in the NFD, in the ABC. That's where they should be playing. And they are not there because we don't have quotas. We don't have the will for these players to play there. We don't have quotas. But you need those quotas to say that you must have 5 players who are under 23, 2 players who are under 17, and so on. That's what you need.
Do you need quotas or do you need to change the environment? Because what I've been saying is that the only people that can really develop, it's coaches that have been there for a while. You look at Coach Jose Rivero, he built up equity in order for him to be able to do it. You look at Steve Barker, he's been at Stellenbosch forever and the environment doesn't demand him to go and do certain things. Are we being a little bit unfair to, let's say, coaches that have to come in and have to win, and now you're asking me to also bring kids in, right? Isn't it unfair? Yeah, it's a goal. Isn't that unfair to those coaches? The under 20s have scored, guys. The under 20s have scored. I'm going to leave it there. Is it unfair to ask those coaches to also have to develop players when the job's on the line?
100% is unfair. 100% is unfair. The coaches should be dealing with our special players that come in and say, no, he's ready immediately at the age of 20. who you don't have to debate or you don't have to improve or anything like that. He's ready. He comes in and he comes in ready. That's what you need, you know. But I'm also hearing people about we can't be disingenuous to this group on the way they've qualified. You know, they've qualified here fairly, and also we must give props to the former technical director of SAFA. You know, he had a lot of coaching clinics that were taking place over the last 3 years.
Stellenbosch.
I think, yeah, something like that. He had the under 17s. He took them to that tri-series thing. Remember, for the past 2 years, they've been playing against Ivory Coast, Morocco. They've constantly had camps, so they've been there. Although they failed to qualify and qualified to the back door, if you can say that. But the progress was there. The plan was clear. They had a clear understanding and clear plan. So you can't be disingenuous and say, no, the Motsepe is here, what. There's been a plan. There's been a clear plan, you know. And I feel as though if we continue on that trajectory, we will build solid teams. We've had solid teams. We've had Abu Kikin Doli, Abu Kereto Mahalwa, Yosipin Bules come from there. And look at those are quality players. Those are probably some of the best players in the league, you know. And that's what I'm saying. We need to use all our levels in order to develop our players correctly. The DDC, from the DDC go to the ABC, from the ABC go to NFD, and then go to the PSL. That way you'll be scouted. You won't have an issue. But this thing of throwing players into the PSL, Abu Happy Mashiani, he has no business being there. It really is not good enough to be in the PSL. So that for me is a where our problem is integration and not the talent. We have the talent.
So for the last, just to get back to the game, for the last minutes here, do you think that we can suffer and win?
Yeah, but I think the coach made a poor substitution by taking off Hache. I think it works better when he's with Matlang because they play better as a pair because one can hold up the ball and the one can also carry the ball into the box. I also think because this group didn't play together in the qualifiers, they don't gel together. So there's no clear plan. And I think the coach has taken the Hugo Bruce approach to say, what we're going to do is that we're going to play to the game situation. We're not going to play according to our tactics because we don't have tactics. You know, they've taken that England approach that in Europe, this is the approach they've taken, actually. They've taken that approach to say, well, we're going to play to what the opposition questions us. We're going to answer those questions and not going to play our own way. Even if Brazil doesn't play like this anymore. We saw it in the way Spain won the Euros. They were playing long balls at the end there. Abu Yamal getting the ball on the side and then taking one up and curling into the top corner. So I think it works for us in Africa. It's worked for Bafana, and I think they've decided to take that approach.
Okay. No, let's have for time. I'm going to jump in. Guys, we are 1-0 up. Hey, man, the cameramen are so spicy, guys. But, linesman. What did you see, Wena? Until she made the face. But we're gonna show you. Okay, let me bring in Gary. Gary.
Raula Prime Bunjani.
Man, ngimnandi Gary siyawina man. AFCON under 20 man.
Yeah, I'm happy. Let me tell you, I've heard my members zakhuluma on your panel, which is always I will support. Ngibhizi ngizama uthenga airtime la ngithi ngifuna ukufaka more money, ngifuna ukuphuma ama-flowers mfana gogo, but it's okay, ngizowayenza sinkinga. Inkinga yala eMzansi is simple.
Yeah.
When last did you go to a high school match yebhola? That's where it stopped. Ngikhumbula kahle iKopanang la Witbank yadlala neKaizer Chiefs. Frank Makho washaya uTota Khumalo ngeSpy 2 bamsayina. Akusana sports ibhola ekasi alisekho. And these boys bangcedwa iSchool of Excellence, isikole bahamba kuzo, and other foundations that are supporting them in terms of them being developed to be where they are now, playing against Morocco. So the Chiefs, the Sundowns, the Pirates, and everybody, they are failing, they are winning. It's okay, we understand. However, they need to put in more money into local football because the talent is not only in the DDC. This is Kolwe and Mfethu. Yes, that's what I'm saying, Mina. You see the difference in Sundowns, the Chiefs, the Pirates. even if i-Chiefs ifile, angiyifevi if Sundowns, but even if ifile i-Chiefs, inama-player kawo. But you can't say the same thing about Vets or Supersport or Skokune. You can't say the same thing because agunama local leagues that they support themselves initially. I mean to be initiative to support Ebola where they are based, so they can build their support. That's where we are lacking in this country. Otherwise, Simnand, the country is doing very well.
Are we making a mistake of maybe putting too much emphasis of the development of the country on these teams? Shouldn't we be looking at the academies, the different academies? What type of academy? How do we grade you? Things like that, and start looking that side, that these kids don't have to. I mean, I feel for the kids, honestly, that played DDC for Kaizer Chiefs. I feel for them because I'm like, Chiefs is not a team that is built for DDC or to bring in that many DDC players. So when you get to the end of your DDC time, where do you go? Whereas maybe if you were at a different academy, maybe, I don't know, an academy or something like that, you could even bypass PSL altogether and you find yourself as a 16-year-old who's overseas. Are we putting too much emphasis, man? Am I teaming?
Yes, I think so. They're doing that because if it Chiefs nayo isenechorena so ejozi ipi league yama team lapha ejozi ayikho. There's no league yama team ejozi. Ana league yama team izikolo, primary schools playing league. Ayikho. I-development iqala lapho Brian. That's why Brazil is so strong. How can abo Jabupule badle Brazil, Australia years ago? Today we don't have a squad to beat Brazil. Doesn't make sense. It's not my players already that are naturally talented. Mara teams like our Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns are failing us to a point. Aba pushy that system yokuthi akube league yezikolo kawo and fund it. Bafaka ama-prize lapha to make the kids babe ne-anticipated ngifuna udlala ibhola, ngifuna uba njengosembazwane, ngifuna novilakazi amncane lapha. Njengamanje sibheke squad siwina 1-0. Cabanga akunalebo lapha. Umfuke ngakekho la. Umkotha akekho la. And these guys under 20. Ngabe sibafake lapha squad list. Hey, ngabe sikhume indaba. They're not even there. They're not even there, those guys. 2 boys abadlala regularly, CAF Champions League players. They're not even there. Tapelo Maseko, Mapena, Sundowns, Nyababala Baneng. They're not even there, not even playing. These guys are playing Champions League. Dlala fana esingabazi, asibazi nokubaza amagama wabo. Sibabona manje. Why? We are failing them because the big teams are putting in money somewhere else. Please let them promote competition ezikolweni mfethu, like we used to grow up. Mina bengikhula bekunama league wezikolo Brian. Provincial, then national. Then you go to DDC. Should be like that. You must have credibility. Check where Jomo Sono is now. Jomo Sono, the icon of South African football. His team is nobody talks about him anymore. It's because of our planning. All I'm saying is I want these teams, even if Sundowns today is my team, congratulations, it's okay. And then Bazahama Champions League next week, Seacora Stadium. It's fine. What are you doing? Nama Skolo. Pera. That's all I'm asking. Let them support the schools.
Yeah. What time I'm going to jump in? 81st minute, guys, 1-0. We're heading towards the end of the game. They're holding it down. I've always thought that the answer is not schools. The answer is LFA football that already exists. I think we love building new structures when the LFA football exists. There's other leagues that are played. It's just that, again, maybe the pipeline is not as straight as we need it to be in order for us to go there. But Trene, welcome to the show. We've maybe got 14 minutes here. Do you think that the boys can hold on?
Evening, Ochi, and all the viewers. We're going to win this one, and I think I did say about a week ago that we're going to win this tournament. This is how we play, hey? I think people are expecting too much from this team. But since the beginning of the tournament, each and every game we've been grinding results. You know, we've never had a game where we playing fluidly and we dominating our opponents. You know, we catch them on the break, we take our chances. That's all we do, and we defend well. You know, there were games where we defended for most of the games. I remember even the Sierra Leone game. I don't even know how we got out of that one. You know, the only game where we played well was the first game where we were playing against Egypt. And we lost 1-0 in that game. Egypt took their chance, they scored, and they won the game. And then after that game, I think...
Oh, trader, sorry. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no.
He should have scored that goal.
Caught there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Raymond Daga then decided, you know what, I'm not going to rely too much on tactics. I'm going to play my team according to their strength and what they could do, you know, because he knew that if he wants to focus on tactics, you're playing different opponents each and every game, and they also play differently, you know, so you're going to get caught somehow. So these boys have been good at adapting. I think they have big characters, you know, and mentally they were ready for this tournament, you know. A player like Shaquille April for me has been our best player. Our goalkeeper has been our best player, and Low, our centre back at the back, has been one of our best players. You know, Kekana, Utata, Neo Rapo, you know, like everyone, because he doesn't use the same starting 11 every time. He's been chopping and changing there. Even our right back, people are complaining about him, but you know, the guys that he's playing against, some of them, you know, they play in big leagues in Europe, you know, and they challenge him, you know, the Sierra Leone guys, like they were challenging him, you know, they like to overload that side, you know, but he's done well, I don't want to lie, you know, and I think we're on the right path. I didn't expect a lot from these boys, but they've shown me that they have the character, you know, and mentally they came into these games knowing that anything can happen, but what they're gonna go there is to fight, and this is how we've been playing. We've been playing in patches, you know, the entire tournament we played in patches, you know, but like they say, football is a game of moments, you know. In that moment when we get our chance, we take our chance, and then we win and then proceed to the next round, you know. This is a knockout tournament, you know, because we literally played, I think, 3 games in our group stages, and then we qualified from there. It's been knockout ever since. And, you know, the team that really goes out and grinds on the day and does the basics right is the one that goes through. And that's what we've been doing, you know. And then I just want to correct the previous speaker. OT, there's a lot of leagues, you know, especially in Gauteng. I'm in Gauteng, I'll speak for Gauteng. There's the GDL. There's the GDPL, you know, which is another league of, if you get relegated from the GDL, you go and play in the GDPL, you know. And then there's your castle leagues. Like, there's a lot that's being done in development, you know. There's a lot of money that's being put into development of our players, you know. And I think in the next 3 to 4 years, you know, we'll be one of the best teams in Africa, you know, based on what I've seen in the AFCON, our under 17s, our under 20 squads, our national team, they've done well, all of them. I just hope that we can introduce a blueprint, and with that blueprint, stick to a similar type of coaches so that we have an identity, but we don't really need. You spoke about tiki taka. That's not how we play. That's not how we should even be playing. You know, these tournaments, they don't want you to play fancy football because there are players that really, they use their physical attributes, you know, and they come at you, and we don't have the physique. You know, what we can do, we have a good passing range, we have a good passing game, we retain the ball, we rotate the ball, and we catch them on the counter. That's it.
I wanted to ask you, Chere, is the pipeline the problem? Like I always say, for example, I use LFA football. I don't know about anywhere else, but Mina Mbuye Tema. We have our league. I've got a SAFA medal. We won the league. We won in our district or whatever. It was club teams, right? We've got LFAs and things like that. But everybody seems to be doing their own thing, whether it's the academies, whether it's the LFAs. Sometimes you speak about the schools. Sometimes you speak about there's no pipeline. So you see all of these kids coming to under 17, or we finally see them, let's say here, under 17, under 20. But then from here, the next jump, a lot of them fall off. And then you ask yourself, what's wrong? Is it a pipeline problem, structural problem? How do you see that?
It is a pipeline problem and a structural problem, because also we have a lot of leagues, like I think in every township there's a league, where players are playing.
Yeah.
But now when we earmark talent, or when we scout these players, from what age do we start following them? If you look at sport like rugby and cricket, from when you're in primary school and as you grow, getting into your high school, you're already earmarked. You already belong to a certain team or development, and from then, maybe let's say from the age of 11, they start tracking you. They start making sure that there's a pathway for you, to make it probably into the senior team if you keep on improving and being developed. But with us, a player can show up around 23 years, a player can show up at the age of Arsenal 19, some players show up maybe in their late 20s. And when I say late 20s, I will talk about a player like Obas, a player like Ox. There's a lot of players, even in our league, that skipped the development phase, And like you're saying, so there isn't really a leeway or a pathway that says we are developing players, for the national team, and this is a base or this is a blueprint that we're going to use to scout talent. This is a blueprint that we're going to use to make sure that we monitor football players in our country. This is a blueprint that we're going to use to also build a structure in terms of our coaching structures, people that are involved in SAFA and the leagues, and the number of leagues we have, But I saw something that's very interesting, that even now when you go for trials, they started a thing with SAFA that players need to register, need to be part of SAFA.
Yeah.
So SAFA is starting some administration where they're gonna track all the players, but I don't know if it's gonna work.
It's the reason why I say LFA football is because I know that when I needed to go play Kokasi, and again, I don't know about the other places, but I'll speak about my Kasi. When you play in Kokasi, they want your birth certificate, unale khati, you are registered on the system, unale clearance, right? All they need to do on top of that is to go, Fene scored 3 goals today. We put it into the database. It's correlated at the end of the week. As Banbani got this, Banbani got that, Banbani got that. And when you've got the data, now I can point and say, when we're scouting, Kon into core 70 goals, La Springs a term. You get what I mean? They already have these things. I think now I'm always against bringing new things into football, or we're always trying to fix things by coming up with these new ideas. Guys, there's a system. There's people. You're telling me that where did my birth certificate copy go? You know what I mean? Where did my birth certificate copy go? You should have me on a system already.
Yeah. There is a system, but I think it's just there. I don't know for what purpose, really, because they do not use it, like you say. You know what I'm saying? It's there, it exists, like you're saying. They print so many forms, players have cards. Every game, I get Lalo Jala, there's that form that they issue out with the cards. to say, okay, you played. If you scored, they would say, okay, you scored today. All of those things, like you're saying. But then after that, those things, they are suffer office, and then someone just literally what in God has been. There's never a time where they really take the data, like you're saying, let's take that data, let's compile the data, maybe provincially and nationally to a point where we take this data, we sort this data, and now we go and fetch these players based on the data. Look, now we have an issue at the striker in South Africa. Like you're saying, there is a boy, Kokasi, that scores about 29 goals every season without fail.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get development, he's not going to get recognized, because that data is not being used. We have a problem at the goalkeeper, OT. We don't know which goalkeeper, Kokasi, in our league has the most clean sheets. We are failing to do those things. So, man, I think the structures are a bit of a mess, and if we can correct those, maybe we'll get somewhere. But it's going to take us another 10 years to correct those mistakes.
What time over to jump in so we can give the boys their moment. We are sitting with I thought we were celebrating the win, but anyway, we're sitting right there. There's a couple of seconds left for us to have an under 20 AFCON. Ausintabi. A bunch of winners, Ausintabi. Evan.
Abdoti e sa lentse ke ka le bobuti bana ha ntse ba tloa kwana ne ntse ke tseba hore fela ka ba thola one goal ene bona o defender ka o kwala ka morao ba make a ba etsa mosebetsi o motle shem bona ba etsa mosebetsi o motle. It's not easy ho o tlo ba kora bona se ba kori ka o defender ka o maka ka morao ka mo ba kwala space engwe aptitude e buileng ko re goalkeeper no ga e hloka ka le crossing ha mtaung ba lokise ba lo re ka moshanyane nunung o lokile haholo re ka mothabela ha bohloko. And guys, ke kopa le tlwelo bapadisa Obrigado ha bohloko ha e tshwara ke Obrigado fela labu le bone ha ne re bapala e seng Congo ha ke tsebe ne re dlala le la bona dibolo tse Obrigado ntsa di ga le mo o e ga ile le mo ya o tlapalo antsa eme hona mo. So ke kopa le motlwelle ke training ya hae mo nunung and le strele o nyamisa ngwane ha e tshwara ke Obrigado ha ba mona fane wa Chiefs. Awa guys, awa ga tseba le re hloile le di championi ba bang ke bana ho thu ba tshwere mohopong ka ngo ka pipe.
Guys.
And the other thing, but what really could have how the players are pirates and Sahoda Fika, Ronata Naturena di Fikile. Guys, it's Calabambi, Tatwalang Obrigado Galecopa.
Guys, end of the game. I'm not going to stay too long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow some people, I've written them down, to come in. Please, guys, a minute. Please give me a minute. We're going to speak about this game and the other games we watched this weekend tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7 p.m., I will be here. So, Shama said, you've got a minute. Tell me, what are you seeing here? What do you think? Champions, AFCON. Where are you sitting with this?
Mr. OT. Before the game started, what did I say to you?
Yeah.
In the 60 minutes, 65 minutes, what are we going to do?
Gonna score.
That's what I just... Yeah, that's what my coach is doing at this moment. But I'm so proud of our team.
Yeah.
It shows development, heavy development in our team. The structures are getting correct. I'm listening to you all, but I'm seeing the future.
Okay.
If they can hold this as an image for the youth that's going to still to come.
Yeah.
You remember the last under 20 we have in Egypt, Abu Jali, Abu Serrero.
Yeah.
We had the future, but it wasn't like this one here. This one here is the brighter future than the one that we had. So, Mr. OT, can I go and rest now? There's too many happiness. I'm cruising nicely today. Today I'm cruising nicely.
But Kipani Habli. Let me go to Mutali. You've got a minute. Champions. Why are we watching an advert? But anyway, champions. How do you feel?
Namhlanje siyarocka.
Siyarocka.
Yo, we are rocking.
No, wait. Let me play it.
Guys, like ngimkhumbulile.
Yatatazela, bo.
Like namhlanje rock. Cause being heard, but I'm back.
Yeah, being heard, but now we are winners, Bukhali.
Yeah, hey man. Yo, LT. No man, we don't draw, we don't lose, we just win. As a country, we just win. Oh, hey, OT in 10 at the start of the game. In 10, OT.
Yeah.
This is how we're supposed to play football. This thing you should shine, the shoe must always shine, the piano must always play. It's not working, OT. It's not working.
Yeah.
The Bruce way is the way. It's the way of winning, OT. We should play. No, this guys, me, I want to win, OT. Winning is entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay, the football is entertainment, but winning football is entertaining, OT. I want to score. Even if you score one goal and then we ritually low. Like, I'm good with that. As long as we win. Look what this type of football has brought to us. What did I say, OT? This type of football will bring championships. We'll go and win the senior AFCON with this type of football. Championships against our Osimhen. Arnataba kawona, OT. Arnataba. We'll go and we just win, OT. We just win. Yo, we are winners.
Hey. Okay. But remember, guys,
the happiness is too much. Let me go.
At least we got a different happiness. Hey, Abu Shembe were happy for a different reason. Shembe, tell me what you're thinking.
It's been a great day, Mr. OT. Wow. What a win for the Motsepe family.
Oh. Hey?
Mr. OT, yabona into Mr. Kuto Mr. OT.
Also, so you're saying the Motsepe Foundation.
The Motsepe Foundation, Mr. OT. Yes, man, the Motsepe Foundation. Yo. Yabo, Mr. OT. Lili offside is Lili offside. If Motsepe was not president of CAF, they was also offside, Mr. OT. They were gonna say that's a flipping offside, Mr. Yo, I can't believe the extent that you have to go to in Africa, Mr. OT, to win things. This is insane, Mr. OT. This is madness. We have to go get someone at the helm of the chair in order just to be treated fairly. This is craziness, Mr. OT. I can't believe this. Brown envelope all the way, Mr. OT. We benefited. No shame.
So are you saying that Motsepe must find his inner Issa Hayato?
OT, I'm saying, if Motsepe why president ye FIFA uzobona yabo Motsepe amaphupho kangapheleli la amaphupho akhe, Mr. OT. Did you see that Lions lady, the look on her face? She was saying damn it umbonile ebusweni la Lions lady, Mr. OT. Angeke ngicela Motsepe abe nama ambition serious afuna ukuba president ye FIFA uzobona so winner World Cup, Mr. OT. Mina, Mr. OT, I'm just happy that Mr. OT. Southern African football is finishing North football at club level and at national level. We are tired of mud football. It's time for the South to rise, Mr. OT. Ngiyabonga kakhulu, Mr. OT. Ngiyabonga kakhulu.
It's time for the South to rise. Motsepe's Foundation. Tate Motsepe has laid the foundation for our football. Tako. Prachabu, Chabuyen, welcome.
Hey, how are you, my brother?
Champion, Nedbank champion under 20. Champion in jail this week, man.
Oh, Likosi.
Likosi.
It's a good week for you. But credit to the boys, they did well. The coaching staff, they did very well. They didn't think they'll win this tournament. When they started in the first game against Egypt, we did well, dominated the game, but to reach the final and go all the way and win it, that's the bonus for us. But we are improving as a country, I think. But we still have to fix our development structure. It's not in a right direction. We have to improve. We must start the SAFA institution must start taking football serious in terms of development, because most of the players they perish at some point. So we need to take care of our players. There are a lot of players that they were promising in the country and they didn't fulfill their careers because of the lack of development. But slowly we are coming.
The Lions lady, she's still angry, Mr. OT. She's still angry. Hide it. But look at yeah.
I understand. He's happy. It's a good thing. But yeah, we still to improve, man, in terms of development. Most of the time, I watch the development league. I can see the GDL is doing well. And they start to televising the games. You can recognize players, you know. So back in the days, there was nothing like that. But now we are improving. Slowly we are coming now. And the confident booster, the president is there. So he's trying by all means to make sure that our football improves. So we will come. We just need to be patient at some point. But in terms of development, we are coming in the right direction. But we will get there.
Time. Hey guys, there's the hour on the pitch right now. Let me go to members privilege. Agent is coming in last. Eliago is also here. Ubutari. Tell me, how do we feel about this? People are saying brown envelopes. What happens when your brown envelopes reaches a billionaire? But anyway, tell me about this guy.
In Zonga, they say, this is what's happening with South African football. Direct translation, it's not going to happen. That doesn't happen. Eventually, we will break through. And this is a sign that things happen. And I think we need to give props to the first team coach from Hugo Bros down to the bottom. Unfortunately, our president of FOSAFA will take the credits, and we have to give it to him because he's the actual president. As much as we are not happy with him, he's gonna be all over the place. But look, Oti, congratulations to the boys. They did well. April, good fighter. I told you one thing which I said to you first half. I said, when Daga wants to play that ball, that you need an extra touch, good passing range, he puts Fundo. And then second half, he wanted to go for low block, break, and we win. He took out Fundo, introduced another player. That's how he played. And I hate that people will come here and speak as if they follow the game. For sure, in this tournament, they just watched only this game. They never followed this game. That's why they never followed the tournament. That's why they're speaking a lot of things that are out. On court, you can bring Kota here, guys. He's playing better. But anyway, let's celebrate the boys. All done to Amajita. And the last thing about development, I coach the LFA. I'll tell you just a second. A story about I coached the LFA. I once called Abuti Kucho and Marons about an incident I had with the LFA. We have a chairperson of the LFA owning 10 clubs.
Nazo.
In the LFA.
Nazo.
And then he owns a club in the Hollywood Bets. We agreed that at the beginning we're gonna have cards. Jiggy, the cards were not introduced. I finished number 2 with my club. Towards the end, he brings the player from the Hollywood Bets, play in our league, but he finished 5th still. So it's tough. But and I mean MLO region. But anyway, there's a lot, and it's expensive to run a club. I coach. We don't have any sponsor. I sometimes have to pay the referees when the boys can't contribute.
Yes.
So it's an expensive thing, and I'm not even sponsoring one of those days. Look, it's annoying. Sometimes I drive about 60 kilometers to a game. Lucky enough with parents that support the boys. The oldest boy I have is 20 years, but we're not using certificates. It's very annoying. But anyway, man, congratulations to Amajita. And we're now on Koloda, Oti and Abu Agent. Where is Agent with switch on? I need to see Agent on switch on. What's happening? Tell me the story, guys. You can just, I see comments on our group and update, guys, so that we can support Agent. Agent, you can't be always been a secret agent. Come out, man.
Agent, I want to give it to you.
Let me enjoy the stress. Ora le bo teng bula mlomo when you're lobol. Like it is it bala mlomo now. So, Barry King, it's our time to eat. People have been eating also. But no, man. Let me enjoy this moment. I think it's gonna be fine between. So yeah, I didn't watch the game for understandable reasons. So I'm just here to say I'm happy that we won the league. I'm happy that we won the league. I'm not sure if I like the trophy, but it's better than the better one. Yeah, he gave it the hubby, man, but it's fine. But anyways, back on the theme, I think we are agreeing that this is a great year for South African football, ne?
Yeah.
So does it mean also next week in South African football, I think it's a great year for South African football. No
DNA. The moment that star is won, the way you guys are gonna turn on us.
Yeah, no, man, but yeah, man, I'm just happy that the boys won, and not to be tribalistic, but yeah, at least he's one of us that scored, yeah, they're not there. Also happy that my club won. Yeah, so yeah. Thank you, Brody. Thank you for everything, both known and unknown. Because I think without you, I'm nothing, my brother. So I just wanted to give you a thank you in public, like that. Thank you, my brother.
No, thank you. Without you guys, I'm nothing. But it's a story for another day. Guys, under 20, AFCON champions. We have a continental winner in national team football, which is great. I hope these boys can go on and get the game times, get the moves, get everything to put them on that higher level. We can't let these guys go. Hopefully when Coach Danny, when Danny Jordaan takes credit for all of this, it can go higher, and then Tate Motsepe can step in. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. I am gonna see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'm gonna leave now, so we're gonna discuss these games, the Chiefs games, the Sundowns games, the Pirates games, and this one. We're gonna discuss them tomorrow. Tate Motsepe, kyo ntatwa teng malume Khutso o tsamaya le ntate wa rona o mongwe mo locally, but it's fine, guys. Okay, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Please, if you have not followed, please follow. If you have not subscribed, please do. I've got a video out here, ladies. Please, guys, can you please support by liking, commenting, sharing that video as much as possible, so that I can also go back to clients and go back to brands and say, guys, this is what I'm doing. It does help. It does help us really grow as creators. If you guys can please support us there. I've got another one that's going to be dropping sometime in the week. So please support that way. And please, guys, one ask. Follow our Instagram, guys. Follow our Instagram for the exact same purposes, so that we can get brands and stuff like that. And I don't have to ask you guys for money. I can go and fetch it from the brands, and I can show them that my audience is engaged and they're actually into these things. Please support us content creators in that way. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Bye, everyone.